Waking up in the UK today, I've been greeted with great news. So through the night, or the daytime as it is in Australia, Mike Hall has gone over the top of Kristof Allegaert and he's moved into first place, which is great news. Well done, Mike.
So the standings look like this: Mike Hall first, Kristof second, Hammond third, and moving down got Kai Idle, Gavin Harding, Kim Remakers, Juju, Adam Hunter, Jackie Bernardi, Stefan Strike, Matthew Phillips, Mike Sheldrake holding strong, Sam Jeffries, Stuart Edwards, Matt Hart,
Jan Willem Bobbink. Beth Jones back in the race. Okay, so I'm sure I saw, unless my eyes deceived me a few days ago, Beth was out of the race. She had a line scratched through her name. But she's rejoined. Good for her, good for her. I hope she does really, really well. So let's catch up with this guy cycling. Maven. He did a video yesterday and he was looking chipper. He looked as happy as he had been, and I think that might just be because he's done with the Nullarbor now. He said he hoped to get to Adelaide tomorrow. I'm not sure if he's going to make it by the end of today. It's still quite a way out. I think he's about 400k away. So he'd be doing really well to do that in the next 24 hours. Not impossible. Okay, I just want to talk about this guy real quick. This is Lochie Kavanagh. He's the youngest rider in the race. He's 18 years old, and up until this race, he didn't own a bike. He'd never done any riding like this. And on the surface, he looks like your typical 18-year-old. He also would appear to be a vegan as well. On the surface, he certainly follows a lot of vegan YouTubers. So Loki did a telephone interview for Bicycling Australia. I'm just going to shout out some of the questions he was asked. So they asked him, Loki, how many months have you been riding? And Loki says, just a few. Actually, I started riding after I signed up for the race. I've never even ridden. I didn't know how to clip my cleats in. I didn't even have cycling shoes at the time. He says with a laugh. He was asked how he was coping with the race, and he says it's mostly mental. It's all about mental gains. Obviously you got to train your body for this, but a lot of it is mind power. For me, it's a matter of taking the race one step at a time, one town at a time. That's what I've been doing. Anything is possible, he adds. After being told of the numerous unfortunate abandonments, he had this to say: the more people who drop out, the more motivated I am to keep going. Unless I have some sort of frame collapse or something, I don't think anything else could make me drop out. Unless something like I was bitten by a poisonous snake and was taken to hospital, but I'd probably get the ambulance to drop me back to my bike and keep riding. And there is Loki's bike. It looks like a Cannondale Cadex Tiagra cyclocross, and he's got the usual Apogura setup, saddlebags, etc., time trial bars. So at this point in the race, it looks like Loki's travelled something like 2,300 kilometres. And he looks really strong to finish the race. We wish him the best of luck. And not too far up the road from Loki, we have this guy, James Deck, who has a pretty cool Instagram page. He certainly seems to be a dab hand at taking a photo. So there's the Australian bike, Great Australian Bike. There's a good, yeah, there we go. Finally getting some sunshine and tailwinds, much needed. Hot day riding on the Nullarbor. Oh, that's the South Australian border. Ooh, getting fueled up in the rain. And the classic 90-mile straight photo. And the landing strip. That's not a zebra crossing. I learned that is actually markers for the air ambulance service to land on the highway there. So we've managed to catch up with Juju. And let's see how she is getting on now. So, guess which road angels were first to find me? Caught up to me with tubes. These guys are unreal. The phone didn't get me far, and I lost a good 8 hours, cockle diddy, trying to make up the miles today. Thanks for all the support. Aussies are the greatest crazies I've come across yet. So, in case you missed yesterday, basically Juju punctured big time and was in much need of a road angel, and she got her wish. It looks like there was a few people on her way to help her out, but these guys just got there first, and just in the nick of time. Well done, guys. Before I end today's vlog, I just wanted to talk about this guy. This is Kerwyn Ballico, Australian male. He was 3,400 kilometres into the race, and sadly he had to abandon back on Saturday. He fell off his bike. He suffered a severe laceration to his arm. He couldn't stem the bleeding. He also banged his knee up pretty bad as well. He tried to patch himself up the best he could, and he just had to endure and ride through that. He was riding for 10 hours with severe knee pain, and he couldn't bear any weight on his arm due to the laceration. He eventually got to Penang, and he came across a guy who is a surfing legend called Kiwi White. I've never heard of this guy. You may know him, Kiwi White. And Kiwi White was familiar with the race and had also happened to meet Sarah Hammond a few days earlier. So Kiwi White, the hero, offered to drive him to Ceduna, but then kept on going and drove him all the way to Port Lincoln. He put him up for a few days. He gave him a guided tour of the Eyre Peninsula. He really put himself out. Kerwyn says he was very, very generous. He also took him to the hospital and got him patched up. He needed a tetanus injection and antibiotics to treat the wounds, and from there he flew back home to New South Wales south coast. So a bit of a bittersweet story. Not so great for Kerwyn that he had to suffer that and drop out of the race, but in the spirit of the race, this guy Kiwi White really helped him out. And I think, as we're seeing today, like with Juju's Road Angels and Kerwyn's Road Angels, there's a lot of people out there that are really rooting for the race and are happy to help out the riders as and when they need it. So that concludes day 12. Thank you very much again for watching. Subscribe if you like, if you want to see more race commentary of all kinds, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 13. See you later, guys.